the Rangers have also done that to some degree by spending a lot of money on baseball players and, of course, reaping the rewards by winning a World Series last year. They are not doing so hot. They are now 24-27. They're still in second place, but I wrote a little bit about them earlier this week, just about the notion of how different this is from last season, not just because we know, of course, they're going to win the World Series, but last year, May is when the Rangers were on fire. Like, this is when it was like, oh my God, like this team is really good. They went 18-9. Their offense was, if not the best in baseball, one of, 2 or 3 best. And now, despite a very similar cast of characters, I know there's some guys missing due to injury, like Josh Young, but this offense has just not gotten going. And the pitching, particularly the bullpen, even though, they bring in Kirby Yates and David Robertson, who have both been exactly what you could have hoped, everything beyond them has been a mess. Leclerc has not been good. Josh Sborz is injured, of course, the World Series hero from last year. And they are just going to now, fortunately, they're not falling in that big of a hole because their division is not very good, apparently. But they're going to have to get better as the season goes on, instead of what happened last year, where they kind of built enough of a lead where they could kind of not coast, but clearly they lost the division at the end of the season, and then they got to go on this run in October. I just am really interested to see how aggressive they are in addressing these moves at these roster holes at the deadline, or if we really are just waiting for them to get healthy on the mound, if we are just waiting for them to get healthy on offense and for those guys to find their stride. Because I thought that this lineup was going to be even better with guys like Carter, with guys like Langford. I know he's hurt, and it's just kind of stagnant right now. It's just not quite there. Seager's starting to find it, but it's just they're just not great right now.
I'm not trying to be patronizing, and I understand that I'm oversimplifying here. Okay, I get that, but I'm just going to tell everyone a little secret. Okay, ready? If you're waiting for Jacob deGrom to get healthy, if that is vital to your roster construction, you're going to keep waiting.
That was my other big point, is that we can point to the entire rotation that is sitting on the IL in deGrom and Scherzer and Malley. I know Dunning just came back. Eovaldi is also hurt, right? But the returns of all those guys is completely unclear, right? So you can't just be like, oh, we're going to have the best rotation in baseball in August. There's no worries. Like, okay. The odds of all 5 of those guys being in the rotation at the same time this season are very low. And so if you're just counting on that, I don't think you can. And so I hope we see some of those guys in the second half. But that would be my concern with the Rangers. Now, again, they're not the only team with serious flaws in this division.
No,
We'll get
of
to
course.
that later. But that's just kind of where I'm at with this Texas team. That clearly, while defending your title is hard, and they were a flawed team last year, they are going to have something. I'm waiting for them to give me a reason to remember why they were clearly contenders coming into the season.